Hi everyone, I am going to go through some of the supplies that we've put together in your truck for the mosquito surveillance. A couple things that you'll have in your truck that will stay in there are your jumper cables, you have a fire extinguisher and a first aid kit, and in the console there will also be a flashlight in case of emergencies. But see, here are some other things that you have in order to do repair work and your normal mosquito surveillance. So first thing here is a chest cooler, and this is just for your personal use for lunch or any beverages that you may have and bring with you to the field. You'll have about 55 of these priority mailers that you will put together each week to send your mosquito boxes in. Here is a lasagna pan that you will dump your mosquitoes in before processing them. So when they're in the barrel to be processed, you'll dump them in here to more easily put them into the cardboard boxes. All right. Here is a regulator that will go on your CO2 tanks. Inside there is going to be a plastic gasket, and you have to make sure that that is in the regulator when it's used and attached to the CO2 tank. Otherwise it will leak. This black cord here is what we call a flow set, and this is what attaches the regulator to your MMX traps. This is a filter, and this little green piece is what we call a restrictor orifice, and it helps the flow rate of CO2 into the trap so there's not too much. And at the very end, this is the connector piece that will connect the flow set to your mosquito trap. There's another kind of flow set that we have that is just plain black with the connector piece. This is going to be used for the CO2 anesthetizing, the first method that y'all will be using for a while. It doesn't have the restrictor orifice or the filter on it, so you just get a direct flow of CO2 into the traps. Alright. So we have a bottle of Dawn and a spray bottle, and these two things will be used for checking for leaks in your regulators. So you'll put a little bit of Dawn in the spray bottle and spray the soapy water on the regulators and the flow set to check for leaks in any areas. We have your 100 feet of rope that will be used to hang your mosquito traps, and these little snap hooks that you'll tie at the end of the rope to hang your traps from. So those two things will stay at your site locations every week. Here is a handheld scale that you'll use to weigh your tanks, your CO2 tanks. When you turn it on, it should be set at pounds. And so that's the setting that you'll be using to weigh the tanks, and you'll hang them from there and record weight. Okay. There's an extension cord here. This will be to connect the chest freezer, the big freezer for anesthetizing mosquitoes, to your generator when they come in. There's a desk lamp that'll be used to help you do your mosquito sorting, and inside there's a AC adapter for it. In these size cardboard boxes, it says mini storage boxes on the side. These are your white match boxes that you'll use to put your mosquitoes in. So you'll have 12 boxes per county that will be sent over to the lab here. And when you are filling those out, here's some office supplies in here. At the very bottom of this clamp box, you will see some address labels. So you'll put a label on top of each box. That way that's easier to take off and change any information on them if need be. And you'll use pencils to fill in information. I'll show you how to do that later. You got pens in here, and Sharpies will be good for marking different things out in the field. And here's a pack of rubber bands. It's very important to know that you need to put a rubber band around each of those match boxes before you send them into the lab, because if they slide open, we will not know which mosquitoes go in which box. Alright, here is another size box, and you'll have about 30 of these inside with your samples. So these are going to be used to transfer the mosquitoes from that cake pan into here, and you will tie these up with a rubber band and stick them either in the freezer or the microwave to kill the mosquitoes so that they can be put into the match boxes. So this is a bigger box instead of transferring them directly from the cake pan into those small little match boxes. This is the next step. Alright, you have a couple of rolls of blue painter's tape that'll be good to label different things. You could use this to label those cardboard boxes, the medium-sized ones, before you stick them in the freezer. That way you know which county or which location in the county each of those boxes goes to. You could also do this tape on the outside of the MMX traps. That way you also know which trap goes to which site location when you're collecting them from the field. Everybody will have a yellow field journal like this, and you'll use this to record information on your CO2 tanks and any other information you find important in the field, so that way you can keep track of everything that you need to. Right, you have a case of Ziploc bags. You will use these to put your mosquito boxes in when you're mailing them. That way we can keep all your boxes together when you come to collect them back to reuse them. And you may need the Ziplocs for some other storage things. Alright, everybody has a pack of bungee cords to keep things secure in your truck. And for mosquito sampling, you have about 5 of these cold packs here. So when you put these in your freezer, you need to make sure that they are completely flat. And you've got index cards here. So when you're processing your samples, they need to be fresh and cold. So that's why you're going to make sure that they're kept on the cold pack when you're sampling them. I'll discuss this more when you all come in for training. But yeah, those cold packs definitely need to be leveled to make processing easier. So like I said, you'll have about 5 of those, and then you'll have a bunch of these little cold packs that will be sent in with your Zika mosquitoes to keep those samples fresh as well. And you've got a big bag of these little test tubes. These are the tubes that the Zika mosquitoes will be sent in. And we'll give you some solution to put inside the vials with the mosquitoes at a later time. One of the sampling methods that we talked about doing is the OVA traps. And that's what these are. These are going to be black stadium cups, saying that they're mosquito surveillance traps. And you're going to stick these in the ground at your field site. And we have 30 sheets of this red velour paper for everyone that they'll need to cut into strips. And you're going to put a strip around the inside of the cup lining here. And stick that in the ground outside so mosquitoes can lay eggs on the edge of the red velour strips. Okay. Everyone has been given several cases of batteries. And these are the red wired battery connectors that everybody has. That way you can connect 2 batteries together out in the field to run the trap, and also use them to connect the batteries together to charge them. Bug repellent for everyone. And got a couple of trap repair items that I'll go into more detail later when I teach you how to repair your traps. You got a small replacement fan in case one of your small fans goes out, and a large replacement fan. And here's cable ties. Those will be used to re-secure your trap lining. Got a roll of packing tape that you will use to secure your priority mailers together so they don't come apart when you're sending them out. Hot glue gun that'll be used to reseal the top part of your trap so no moisture will get inside, and you'll only need that if you need to repair the inside portion of your trap. You've got a set of nut drivers. This is a trap repair piece of equipment. Hammer in case you need it. It's a pair of wire crimpers and cutters. So you'll use the crimper in order to put those little blue pieces on your wire connectors or your battery connectors back together. Sometimes the little blue pieces will come off of the wire and you'll need to re-secure it. So there's the crimper there. Alright, and that's to cut more wire. Got a tape measurer in case you need it. Everybody should have 3 rolls of this yellow Teflon tape, and that will be used to repair leaks in your regulator. 3 rolls of black electrical tape. Alright, pliers. Another set of pliers. Most of this stuff that's in your tool bag is just going to be used for trap repair. Phillips head screwdriver, slotted screwdriver. You've got a utility knife, and there's extra blades in the bag as well. Paintbrush will be used to scoop mosquitoes out of the barrel of your trap. When you're dumping them into the cake pan, sometimes they'll get stuck inside. And so you've got this paintbrush to kind of scoop them and knock them out of the way. Alright, adjustable wrench to secure your regulators to your gas tanks. Alright, and this is a voltmeter that you'll be using to check the voltage that's left on your batteries. And I have it indicated on here with a circle where the dial needs to be turned in order to charge or check your battery charge. I got the red and the black end that go to the corresponding ends on the battery. And later I will send you a diagram of a good charge that you will know for your batteries. If they get to a certain point, they will need to be brought over here to campus to be desulfonated, as Dr. Smith indicated in his little instruction manual. Alright, got a shovel to put the cups in the ground. Alright, and then the tool bag. So that's a basic overview of all the supplies. Like I said, when we make a little video on how to repair your traps, I'll go into more detail about some of these tools. But for now, that's what you got.